And the camera now is facing towards the area where the safari park is behind the start.
Well, this mixed relay is over a total of 5,800 metres. So it's going to be one lap of 1,200 metres, an opening lap, 2 long laps of 1,500 metres, and then one final lap of 1,300 metres.
And whereas last year it was the woman first and then the man and then the woman and the man, this year the man is leading off the first leg, then the woman, then the man and then the woman. At the World Championships, World Cross Country Championships, they leave it up to the teams to decide where to run the men and the women, so you could have a woman running against a man, but it's a little bit more ordered here.
Yes.
All the women run together, all the men run together.
Just looking through, I mean, it's very difficult because I would actually like to see the mixed relay in a few of the cross-country meetings as well, but it's obviously a lot of athletes with track pedigree are appearing in these teams. And who would you look at as being the favourites here?
I think France have got a very strong team. I mean, Mekhissi being here is very interesting. We don't usually see him run much other than 1500s and steeplechases. The fact that they've got him makes me think that France are taking this very seriously.
Well, 12 months ago in Samarin, it was the Great Britain, Northern Ireland who won from Czech Republic. Czech Republic getting their first ever medal at the European Cross Country Championships, followed home by Spain. Well, no Czech Republic this year, which is a pity, but Spain have brought a pretty useful team indeed, including Saul Ordóñez, the new Spanish record holder over 800 metres.
I think Belgium have got an interesting team. They didn't have a team last year, actually, and then they came and run really well in the Glasgow cross country, which is one meeting does have relays at the beginning of the year. So there's some members from that, and Van der Elst on the second leg is a rapidly improving 1,500 metre runner, very close to the Belgian record just after the end of just after the European Championships this year.
Yes, I've just been casting my eyes over the teams as you've been speaking, and yes, I think the French are taking it extremely seriously indeed. I'd probably throw Britain, Northern Ireland once again, and Spain into the mix as my possible other two picks for medals. Just having a look, yes, the Irish also might just potentially surprise, and of course they've got a very good second leg runner in Sofra Klirabutna as well. So some of the teams, well, it'll depend on overall quality. Some of the teams have got individual stars, and perhaps their compatriots are not quite as credentialed. Indeed, we do have 12 teams. So there's the French lead-off runner.
Millet, who was unfortunate to fall at the European Championships 1500 metres in the same race where Ingebrigtsen fell.
Well, I think he was the man who actually brought down Ingebrigtsen, wasn't he? From Italy, we have Sheikh Ali Abdelkader. This is Saul Ordóñez. As I said, very good 1,500 metre runner. Jamie Williamson.
Williamson, the son of Graham Williamson, a former European junior champion.
And his mother's Carol Bradford, now Carol Williamson, who won a England team gold in the World Cross Country Championships.
So it's not just the Ingebrigtsens that have got good athletics families?
Oh no, we've got quite a few here. So the short lap of 1,300 metres. So this is going to be quick. No holds barred. Nick Jensen of Denmark also flying at this moment. And Debiani of Belgium up in front. Well, the rain's back again. very fine mist. So it's Nick Jensen of Denmark at the front. Another man who's opted for the baseball cap backwards approach. It's worked for Jimmy Gressier earlier in the day. Could work for Nick Jensen at least over this first leg. France's elected Mekhissi in second place at the moment. But all 12 teams still more or less in contention. Belarus bringing up the back. But it's Denmark and France first and second at the moment, with Great Britain's Jamie Williamson running a good leg in third at Solo Donios. Well, I don't think he's looking terribly comfortable on this surface. I think he would probably be hoping for something a bit drier. 1,200 metres obviously well within Ordonez's comfort zone despite his 800-metre background. Then Murad Abdelkader Shikali of Italy. Bit of a gap starting to appear between the leading four and then Bloomberg of Sweden. Well, Ordonez having all sorts of problems, having to grasp onto the barrier, nearly going down, still stays upright. But it's Mekhissi leading the way from Jamie Williamson. Ordonez still in there, still sliding around Nick Jensen, and there was one of the athletes going down there.
And Alexis Millet is a great runner for this event. He's got a good track pedigree, but he also placed quite highly in the under-23 championship.
Oh, and there's Jamie Williamson going down. Well, he's got up fairly quickly, but he was slipped back a couple of places. Here we see Williamson go down. Well, there was a little bit of contact there between himself and Ordonez. Nevertheless, Williamson's got back up quickly, still in contention. So they have to hand over the wristbands to their compatriots. There's a long changeover zone. So it's the women now on a 1,500-metre leg. Well, this has certainly caught the imagination of the crowd. Here's
Lamotte.
Yes, Lamotte, very fine 800-metre runner. Sub 2 minute 800-metre runner, the French woman.
She doesn't often run further than 800 metres, but we did see her run a very good 1,000 metres in the Birmingham Diamond League behind Laura Muir.
Esther Guerrero there, slipping and sliding, but the Spaniard's still doing well. So this is turning into, well, a little bit of a time trial for Lamotte. Well, the virtue here of getting clear is that you can pick your path. So it's Guerrero, Belarus's Ivanov, and also Denmark still hanging on in there. Dagmar Olsen doing well at this stage, but the French clearly in front. Well, we were expecting great things from the French last year, but they drifted back to 5th place in the mixed relay 12 months ago, but they've certainly laid down the gauntlet here, thanks to Alexis Millet and Renelle Lamotte. She's looking very comfortable indeed.
And don't forget who she's passing on to. Quintuple European champion himself.
Mayedine Mekhissi-Benabad. Who's got a very, very good range indeed. 1,500 metres will be no problem to him. He's also got an outstanding range which takes him right up to the roads and cross country. Well, Lamotte starting to look a little bit tired now, but sticking to her task. Esther Guerrero is starting to close down just a little bit on Lamotte. Lamotte starting to look rather heavy-legged. Not a surprise in these conditions, and should be considered very much an 800-meter specialist. Guerrero starting to get away from Iona Ivanov of Belarus. Belarus have got a very good third leg runner, Sergei Platonov.
And Alex Bell has just moved Great Britain into 4th place.
Dagmar Olsen just sliding back to 5th place at the moment after showing well during the first half of this leg. But it's still Renelle Lamotte, the Frenchwoman leading the way, Esther Guerrero and Ileona Ivanov. So it's France, Spain and Belarus at this stage, with Alex Bell challenging for the bronze medal, up on the shoulder of Ivanov now and just edging round her.
These gaps, Phil, aren't as significant as they may look, because we're not looking at a conventional cross-country race. Soon, fresh legs are going to take over those positions, so they can close and open. The gaps can close and open really quickly.
As you rightly say, Lamotte handing over to Mayedine Mekhissi-Benabed has really got to be quite an advantage. Although Joanne Geyer-Carles on the final leg doesn't have many credentials internationally.
I think they put their strongest 2 runners in their middle 2 legs.
Yes, without a doubt, I think. Well, Esther Guerrero is starting to close down on Lamotte, and in turn Alex Bell really starting to eat up the ground on the leading pair. Well, Lamotte really having to work hard to hand over in the lead as they're coming round into the changeover zone. Bell run a very, very good leg indeed. But Guerrero, well, slipping and sliding and battling, but she's running the faster of the 3 leaders at the moment, Guerrero. She's made up a lot of ground on Lamotte. Lamotte really started to look very tired over those final 200 to 300 metres. Good leg as well by Alex Bell. So Phil Sisserman takes over for the British. Mayedine Mekhissi-Benabed for the French. As we see some of the teams a bit further down the field. The Belgians, the Latvians. But at the moment, it's a battle between Spain and France at the front, with Great Britain in 3rd place at the moment. So Spain's Victor Ruiz. He was part of the Spanish team last year that got the bronze medal. There's a bit further down the field, Belgium, Sweden, Italy. So still very tricky underfoot. Mekhissi-Benabed, the real quality runner on this leg, without a doubt. Whole host of European titles to his name. Victor Ruiz on his shoulder at the moment. Not very far back. Here's Phil Sisserman.
I'd be happier if the Frenchman had his wristband on his wrist rather than carrying it. I don't think there's anything wrong with carrying it, except it's easier to drop.
Yes.
And if you've got to steady yourself on the railings, if you're slipping, then he's going to need that hand to be free.
The equivalent of a drop baton in a 4x400 metre race. I suppose he could go and pick it up, but it would obviously mean quite a few lost metres.
I'm sure he knows what he's doing, but he has had his share of controversies in the past.
Well, you say that, so yes, I bet he regrets taking his shirt off now and losing that gold medal a few European Championships ago. Ruiz, though, playing it safe. The band very much adorned on his right wrist for the Spaniard. Still in 3rd place at the moment, Phil Sisserman from Great Britain and Northern Ireland. I think this has been a very attractive innovation into the European Cross-Country Championships programme.
Yes, I agree, and it seems to be doing what the short race at the World Cross-Country Championships didn't do, in that it's attracting non-cross-country specialists to do a shorter cross-country race.
I don't think anybody envisaged a mixed relay in that particular era. Looks like the Swedes in fourth place are closing down a little bit on Phil Sessamon.
Well, they've got a strong runner to come. They were fourth last year.
Yeah. Engholm having a good lap for the Swedes. He's out of camera shot at the moment as we concentrate on Victor Ruiz for Spain and Mehedin Mekhissi-B from France.
The Frenchman's not being as dominant as I'd expected. I think cross-country experience is perhaps showing a little bit here. Having said that, he's just gone into the lead.
Phil Sessamon, though, still sticking to his task. There we see Elmer Engholm of Sweden in fourth place at the moment. So the Swedes having a good run, just out of the medals as things stand, as we're coming into the final changeover. So the French will hand over to Joanna Geyer-Carles.
And that's Jessica Judd waiting for Great Britain.
Just missed it there, but Ruiz handed over to Solange Pereira. So it's Pereira against Geyer-Carles. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I know Pereira has got some very good international credentials and has been running well. I think the Spaniards come into this last lap as the favourites. However, I've been proven wrong plenty of times in the past, but that's who my money would be on, with just about a kilometre to go in this second mixed relay here at the SPAR European Cross Country Championships. Jessica Judd, well, former silver medalist at World Under-20 level on the track, over 800 metres. Got the bronze in the Under-23 race last year. A lot of distance to make up, though, for Judd. Not insurmountable for an athlete of her quality, but it's still quite a gap between the leading pair and Judd. Well, Geyer-Carles at the moment, well, looking pretty comfortable. Pereira still on her shoulder. Pereira also ran in the Spanish team 12 months ago and got the bronze medal. And now Pereira just edges around her.
And I think Spain, it's showing how seriously Spain take this, because of all the teams, Spain announced their exact four straight away very early. So all four of them have known that they're going to be doing these legs on these days, and I think that helps.
Well, there's huge commitment for the runners as well. I saw an interview in the Spanish media about 2 weeks ago. Sol Ordóñez was actually saying how much he was looking forward to this race, and was not getting too far ahead of himself, but was thinking that Spain had good medal credentials. So it's now Solange Pereira and Joanna Geyer-Carles battling away for the gold medal for Spain and France respectively. In third place at the moment, Jessica Judd not really at this stage making any inroads into the advantage that the leading pair have over her. Well, Pereira, should say Pereira, now taking the lead from Geyer-Carles.
And I'm sorry to say it, but that fall of Jamie Williamson has made a bit of a difference here for Britain.
Yes.
She's not been able to keep in touch.
Jessica Judd's doing her best to try and reduce the deficit, as we now see Pereira just starting to edge away. 10-metre gap now between the Spaniard and a French rival, as the pair daintily work their way around one of the final corners of this race, and indeed the final corners of the 2018 SPAR European Cross Country Championships here in Tilburg. And this looks as though it's now going to be a decisive surge. Race isn't over yet, that's obvious, but Pereira now starting to, well, she stumbled there, but managed to keep going, recovered very quickly. Glancing over her shoulder.
And Spain have won 2 silvers and a bronze today and no gold.
It could well be. This is a run to gold for the golden girl of Spanish athletics, Solange Pereira. Currently Spain's #1 1500-metre runner. And she's kept a little bit in reserve. Geyer-Carles is digging deep, but Pereira has got just that little bit left as they're coming into the final 100 metres. Geyer-Carles is desperately digging deep, and Pereira starting to look just a little bit tired, but it's going to be gold for Spain, the first gold of the day. But Solange Pereira brings Spain home. Spain take the 7th race of these championships. Spain win, France silver. Let's just wait for confirmation. Well, it's Britain. Well, Britain drifted back. Belarus came through super strongly there through Volha Nemanov. A rare medal for Belarus, but it's gold for Spain. Just edging out France. So Solange Pereira exhausted, but no doubt delighted. That green wristband still there. You don't need a translator to tell you what she was saying. A terrific run there from Pereira. Well, I had her down as the favourite coming into the last lap as they were neck and neck. But you've got to deliver, and she delivered in spades. I'm sure somewhere she'll be joined by her teammates, Ordóñez, Corredero and Ruiz. Now this is the decisive point in the race where she starts to pull away from Johanna Geyer-Carles of France. Last year's 3rd place team make it gold today here in Tilburg. Geyer-Carles, well, ran very, very well on that last leg, but just didn't quite have enough to be able to resist the final surge of Solange Pereira. Very, very happy Spaniard. And there she gets a big hug from Victor Ruiz. Esther Guerrera's already had time to get her tracksuit on. That's Guerrera. Where's Saul Ordóñez? He's got to be somewhere. Belarus. Well, we didn't see much of what was going on there in the bronze medal position, but Volha Nemanov coming through very, very easily. Well, very easily, not at all easily, but very, very quickly on that last leg to just pick the British. So last year's winners of the inaugural mixed relay here at the SPAR European Cross Country Championships edged out of the medals on this occasion.
Yes, Belarus were 4th at the last changeover, 4 seconds behind Britain. That gap was closed and opened up for 3 seconds. Only the 2nd medal ever won by Belarus at the European Cross Country Championships.
And the first one was, I think, Platonov, when he might have got a medal in the junior ranks.
No, it was a junior, but it was Chabirak in 2006.
So it's been 18 years, 12 years since the last Belarus medal. Well, I hope this also encourages many other member federations to send teams to participate in the mixed relay. If they can't put together full teams, this is an ideal way of getting countries like Belarus, and indeed last year the Czech Republic, to participate, and opens up the possibility of standing on the medal podium. Confirmation of the results. Spain win by 2 seconds from France, and another 9 seconds further back to Belarus, just pipping Great Britain, Northern Ireland, Ukraine, Sweden and Belgium. They were 5, 6 and 7. And they've found Sol Ordóñez wrapped in tin foil, one of those space blankets. It wasn't as dominating as you might have expected on the first leg, but still ran very well indeed.